I think we have the management of Mahindra and Mahindra now joining in. August auto sales numbers have come in above estimates, driven by SUVs. Commercial vehicle segment witnessed sharp rebound month on month, but tractor sales remain a bit sluggish. But we've heard that from M&M on the tractor side, being a bit slow. We have Veejay Nakra, President, Automotive Division and Mahindra joining in. Mr. Nakra, good morning. Good to have you with us here. Thank you for your time. Could you, first up, I mean, we looked at the numbers for the month of August, and they are better than what the street was expecting for the auto business. Could you characterize the demand environment a little bit more in detail? You know, what sort of sub-segments within the autos are doing very well? What's the waiting period like? I mean, I think the last time we had Mr. Jejurikar with us, he was telling us that, that has dropped off quite a bit. The waiting period. Just some more details, sir. Go on.
Sure. Thank you for having me on the show, Prashant. Let me first begin by saying that, we've been talking to the media, to our analysts and investors, that we will continue to post, mid-teens double-digit growth, and that's what we've done in the month of August, 16% year-on-year growth with a sale of about 43,000 SUVs. So from an overall auto perspective, SUVs have done very well, exports have done well, our last mile mobility business has done well again. So as a result of that, overall, we've seen a growth of 9% for the overall auto business and 16% for SUVs. I think what's augured well is as we start moving up to the festive season, we are seeing inquiries go up. That's one. Two, also, the numbers that we have delivered in the month of August are backed by retail. So it's not just building in stock for the festive season. If I look at the Vahan registration data for the month of August, if we add Telangana, which accounts for about 4 to 5% of all India retail, we're at 98% of our wholesale numbers. And we've actually gained about 2 percentage points share on the retail front. So I also would want to add that the demand for whether it is the Scorpio N, whether it's the XUV 700, whether it's for the recently launched 3XO, I think all of them have done well in the month, and that's helped support both the wholesale number and the retail numbers. As we start getting into festive season, with the elections behind us, with the budget behind us, with a hot summer behind us, and a good monsoon that we've seen, whether it's the 7% plus long-term period average, whether it's the 72% plus reservoir level on the LPA, the 11% higher crop at the mandi supported by great price, and 90% plus of the Kharif land sold for the Kharif crop. I think it augurs well as we get into the festive season.
Okay, all right. So just to clarify the number, you mentioned 2% market share gain, right? Is that across the SUV segment, or were you talking about any specific brand?
Yeah, no. So I just wanted to clarify. When we look at the 2% I mentioned was on the retail side, which is the Vahan registration data, and that's on the PV segment. Because when you look at Vahan data, it doesn't categorize it by cars and SUVs. You are able to get the data for entire passenger vehicles. So if you look at PV as a segment, we've gained 2 percentage point market share on retail. And of course, we are waiting for the industry data to come out for the month of August. So it'll be difficult for me to comment on what's our market share on wholesale numbers for the month of August.
Okay, all right. Hi, sir. Good morning. This is Nigel on this side. Let's focus on the Thar. The 5-door in comparison to the 3-door earlier. How do you see things ramp up out here? If you want to give us a monthly number, I think some on the street believe it could be 10,000 units of the entire Thar family. And the fear is there could be some cannibalization. How do you see this panning out? And what are the rough estimates we should be working with?
Even this was a question that was asked to us even at the launch. And we had clarified to say that, firstly, there are two different categories of buyers. The Thar 3-door is more of the enthusiast off-roader looking for a compact, smaller less than 4-meter SUV, who's a very different buyer compared to the Thar Roxx, which is more the lifestyler, someone who's looking for more creature comforts, who's looking for a more city-oriented vehicle. So, we positioned the brands distinctly in the portfolio of Thar. As far as the overall numbers is concerned, we had said that we have a capacity of 9,500, fungible between both the 3-door and the 5-door. And given the kind of response we've had, on the Thar Roxx, we've not yet opened bookings, but just to give you a little bit of flavor, for all the kind of content we've put out there on social media and digital on the Thar Roxx, just to give you a flavor, the content has got over 1 billion views, and we've had close to 4 million website visits, a lot of walk-in at the dealerships waiting for the test drive vehicles to come in and for the bookings too.
So the test drive, I think, is on September 14th, and then bookings start in early October, right?
That's right. 16th is when we start test drives, and 3rd of October is when we open bookings.
Yeah, and out of this 9,500 units per month capacity, to break it up, how do you all see it panning out? Maybe 7,000 for the newly launched vehicle and say 2,000-3,000 for the others? So should it be in that, that could be the rough estimate?
I think it's a little early, but the kind of fungibility we have built so far is in that region of 7,000 for the Thar Roxx and 2,500 for the 3-door. I think we just need to wait to see once the people take test drive and the bookings come in, we'll get a clearer picture.
Sure.
But like I said, there are two distinct segments, two different customer profiles with two different value propositions.
I wonder if at all Nigel's buying a new one, whether he'll go for the Thar or the Thar Roxx. I wonder.
Surabhi, since you got me in this conversation, I'll tell you what, I think the vehicle is absolutely amazing. And at this stage of my life, I would be happy with the 5-door.
But earlier it would be the Thar.
Yeah, I mean, need to work on how do we achieve it. But brilliant vehicle, and congratulations on that. But I think shareholders want to listen to more.
No, absolutely, sir. So we've discussed a lot of the good, which is SUV. I mean, that portfolio is just booming along for you. But just a word on the other segments. On the tractor side, and I remember we had an earlier conversation with Mr. Jejurikar, I think just about 2 months back or so. The talk was about a sequential recovery and improvement. Now, I understand that things can be patchy. It's not a straight line. But give us a sense. I mean, at a time when monsoons have been very buoyant, there's talk about a lot of rural recovery. Tractor sales were flat year on year, just 1% growth, and they were actually showing a sequential dip of almost 20%. What on tractors?
I just wanted to clarify that Hemant, who's the president of the tractor business, is the right person to answer that question. I would refrain from answering that.
Okay, fair enough. Sir, a word on commercial vehicles then, because that's where also we're seeing flattish trends continue. We were discussing this with a guest earlier on the show as well. Where we are on the CV cycle, on the light CV side or the medium CV side as well. What's your sense?
So just to give you a very quick flavor on that, you're right. If you look at the small commercial vehicle as a category, there has been marginal degrowth year on year. But the good news for us is we've outperformed the industry over there too. We've had marginal growth YTD, and we've gained market share both on the wholesale and on the Vahan registration front. We today have 51% market share in that segment. I think a couple of reasons. There's always a lag between the rural revival and rural performance and the small commercial vehicle category. It's, like I said, the good news is monsoons have been good. All the data on monsoons show high confidence. The crop sowing is showing high confidence. So with a little bit of lag, we believe the small commercial vehicle category will pick up as we go forward. And as we look at the festive season, it is looking better than what it has been in the last couple of months.
Got it. Just one quick point, Mr. Nakra. I think you're still on track to launch your sort of EV models from the first quarter of calendar 25?
Yes, that's very much. We're well on track.
Okay. And there was this news item with regards to a tie-up with Skoda as well, which, again, I think that was on the EV side. Was it?
I think we are sorry. I think we had put out a statement on that saying that we would not be commenting on speculations.
Okay.
I think earlier we had put out our association with VW as a group in terms of sourcing components for our EV platform, the InGlow platform, and that's where we are. That's where.
All
we
right. Okay. Got that. So first EV by first quarter CY25, and I think the guidance is 7 new battery EVs by 2030.
That's correct.
That's what you've put out earlier. All right, I think we'll leave it there. Thank you very much, Mr. Nakra, for joining us and running us through, a fair bit of perspective on the auto business as far as Mahindra and Mahindra is concerned. The market is holding up about 80 points, so we are nicely above the 25,300 mark, guys.
Okay, well, the market's holding up. We have to take a very quick break. At this point in time, we'll come back on the other side, and then we'll be in discussion with the management of MedPlus Health Services. We'll talk about the company's business outlook.